Well, hello. It's Vegas Paulie C, and this story is from the Las Vegas Review-Journal. Culinary Local 226 and Bartenders Local 165 members overwhelmingly voted to authorize a citywide strike against the casino hotels in Las Vegas. 95% of the members voted, and they said yes to a strike. There's going to be one more round of negotiations next week, according to Secretary Treasurer Ted Papa George. But he said that if no contract is achieved, then all bets are off. We'd like to be able to say that we have a deal, but we are not expecting it at all at this point. There are about 40,000 union members that have already had their deal expire. And if this strike occurs, it will happen leading up into the F1 race, which is on November 18th. Nobody knows what's going to happen, but a strike would be devastating to the operations of Las Vegas. Vegas Paulie C.
Security running.
Oh shit, I saw it.
Yeah, man.
Yo, listen.
Man. Uh-oh. Damn. That's, oh my God. Free Philly. Okay, don't touch him. Oh my God, record this. Record this.
Look, they had me.
Record this.
Bro, I got.
And some people on the left are deplorable. I'm sorry.
I find the left to be just annoying.
Exactly.
They're more than just not important. It's just annoying.
Exactly.
And the Western far left is habitually the most stupid, naive people you can imagine. And they come up with these really goofy constructs, and it's all about feeling good about yourself.
Yeah, well, just feeling, as opposed to like free speech. Like if your feelings are hurt, that's more important than free speech.
My message to the CEOs is, it's $74 million, collectively earning that. How many yachts can they need, to water ski behind it? It's just crazy.
My God. Welcome to our Wednesday Seth Williams Show with Chris Hagan. And how you doing?
That guy is a blithering idiot.
He's fantastic.
But who's stupider, him or Biden?
The people that are out there looting the Apple store, those people are stupider.
Well,
both of them. Well, maybe not. Maybe they're the smartest people ever because they're walking away with brand new iPhones, and I'm dealing with one that half works. So.
Yeah, but at some point, the police just have to start putting bullets in heads. Hey. Sorry if that's too hard, but that's what needs to happen.
Welcome to Wednesday.
These people should be murdered on the streets. They should. They should absolutely shoot them dead. If they just put one down, that'll stop a lot of this.
Hey, did you see that mess that was going on in Philadelphia? I mean, these people are, look, and I know I'll catch shit for it, but I'm going to say it anyways. These people are not, they're animals.
Yeah, they're not.
I'm not making a racial statement about anything. What I'm saying is these people that decide that for whatever reason they want to call themselves protesters, activists, whatever the hell they want to call them, they're animals. They're out there looting and robbing, and they don't care. And then I don't know who's worse, the people that are actually looting and getting a free iPhone out of the deal, or the people that are just standing there like assholes with their cell phones out and taking video of it and laughing as it's going on.
Yeah, I despise these people. Like I said, I would be fine. I wouldn't even have any upset if they just turned around and started shooting them all. Just come in with an automatic rifle, just take them down Valentine's Day massacre style and be done with them. They're useless. They're useless.
Yes.
They're useless as humans.
All those store devices have a track on them.
Yeah, that's great, except for the government won't go get them.
No. Or you'll have people like Kamala Harris bail them out of jail like she did last time. Mm-hmm. And they don't spend even a night in jail. They don't spend an hour in jail. The cops, like they said on the news today, the cops are still doing the paperwork while these guys are being let out and at it again.
Mm-hmm.
And
you can't hurt the feelings of people that are upset that a person that they never met in their life and they have no idea what they did was hurt or killed.
Well, half the people that are in that store and in any of those stores that you just saw have no idea what happened. No clue. No idea why they're out there protesting. They don't know what it's not a protest. They don't even know why they're stealing other than they want to go take some free stuff.
It's flash mob is what it is. It's just a flash mob.
Well,
probably something going out on Twitter or on whatever.
They call them flash robs now.
Oh, is it a flash rob? I'm sorry.
Yes.
I just would like to see them all just murdered.
I wonder if Apple has a way to like brick wall stolen merch. It's a $3 trillion company. Wouldn't surprise me if they could. Okay, they shouldn't have to. And forget about Apple and the product that's stolen. What about the people that run the store? What about the people that work at the store, whose livelihood is affected by the fact that you had a pack of juvenile assholes going into the store, smashing it up, breaking windows, stealing stuff, and now it affects a lot more people than just Apple.
Even if it affected only one person, it's still criminal. Yeah. How about just the sense of you should not be acting like a criminal? How about that? How about if we start there? If we just start with don't act like a criminal. There's no side to that. Everybody wants to make every stupid thing about politics and whatever. And, now this is politics and right, left, blah, blah, blah. How about we start at the basics? There's a moral decay that allows people to think that it's okay to do that. That's not a political thing. That's a people thing. And the people in Philly are assholes, period.
I wish it was just happening there. It's happening all over the place.
I'm just saying, all we have to talk about today is the people in Philly.
Real quick, we're going to have Tom and Josh from the band The Fifth Wheel coming on in just a little bit. They have a big show. If you know the name, they were
old school
stuff. Had some radio airplay back in the day, and so we'll be talking to them. They got a show coming up in October they want to promote, and I think it's going to be pretty cool. So we'll talk to them in a little bit.
Very cool.
And Tony Masaccio might join us from an airport or somewhere. If he was floating on a cloud on his way to Hawaii, his internet connection will probably be better than it normally is.
Exactly.
But we're talking about this. I think it's disgusting what's going on, and I hate the people that stand up for him. And there are people that actually stand up for him.
Yeah, I know. Or they won't necessarily stand up for him, but they'll kind of be like, well, there's a reason.
Well, that's what I love.
They'll make it. They're certainly not. You're not going to hear any politician say something so stupid as they deserve those iPhones, but you'll get the. Well, if you came from an entitled or a non-entitled race, then you would understand their anger and their pain.
Yes, let's take another quick look at the oppressed people.
Okay.
Got one! Got one! Got one! Got one! Got one! Free iPhones! Free iPhones! Free iPhones! Look, security running.
Oh shit, I saw it.
Yeah, man!
Yo, listen.
Nah.
I would love it if while she's going, ah, free iPhones, if a cop just came up and smashed her teeth with a baton. Boom! Took her teeth right out of her stupid fucking face.
And most of them are so proud of what they're doing that they're wearing masks. But then some of them aren't. And it doesn't matter because none of them are going to go to jail. Now, they said that they made like 100 arrests last night or 20 arrests, whatever it was. And you saw a video. There's some video of a couple guys getting put in the back of a van. They were probably driven to the next corner and let out. Because that's the way our system works right now. That's the unfortunate part about this.
They're driven away like the homeless guys at the JFK murder. Just driven down the block and let go.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, there's some truth to that. They are free Obama phones.
I mean, I just don't understand. I don't understand the excuses that the left gives for him. And where is our president? Where is this guy that's supposed to unite everybody? I thought he created a bunch of jobs. Then nobody's always bragging about it. Created more jobs than any other president ever. Yet these assholes don't have a job. They're going and stealing what they want to steal.
Well, they stole 2 weeks worth of iPhone. That's 2 weeks pay worth of iPhone.
Come on, Heidi. Come up with something. You got to stand up for these people somehow, right? Come on. I love you, Heidi. I want to hear your excuse for these people.
I'm quite sure even Heidi's not going to try and make an excuse for these assholes.
What are you talking about, Chris? They're oppressed. They're
downtrodden.
They're not. They've been treated poorly by the entire country, and it's white privilege that is the problem here. You don't understand that?
I don't want to understand it because it ain't true. It's shit behavior, period.
There's a black gentleman who was on the news earlier when I was watching when I got home real quick from work.
Mm-hmm.
And this black gentleman said, I'm tired of hearing about white privilege. It's black privilege. He's like, these people are getting away with everything who are robbing these stores because of their race.
Yeah.
Now, I don't want to turn this into a racial thing because I don't consider it a white or black thing. I consider it just an asshole thing.
Yeah.
If you're going into a store and taking something, I don't care what color you are, you're a dick. And you're ruining people's lives. And you should be arrested. Well, here's my question. I think I was thinking the same thing Rick was thinking. How the hell are you going to unlock the phones?
Like, well, they're not. They're not.
Just call Apple and say, "Hey, look, I got a new phone. I want to unlock it."
And then Apple will be like, "Oh, there's some difficulty here. Hold on, we're going to send a representative over to check it out or come to the Apple store, and we have to manually turn it on, and the dummy will go to the Apple store and get arrested." I mean, that's really how it's probably going to play out. But there's no way they can't use the phones. The only way they could use the phones. And I don't want to turn this into a tech conversation either, but you could go to like Cricket Wireless and get yourself oh no, you can't now with the iPhone 15 because they don't use they use the in-programmed SIM cards now. They don't give you a removable SIM card anymore.
I'm sure you could. They have those machines that give you money for phones. You could probably go trade it in or like stick it in one of those machines and get a few bucks.
Yeah, maybe, but who knows? It's not. People are missing the point here. You know why they're stealing phones? Because they're stupid.
See, now, a smart criminal like myself would go in there and take all the cool accessories. Because at least the accessories you could probably put on like on eBay and say, yeah, I got a new case. The case is there like $50. You probably sell it for $30 online. Brand new case, Apple. Take the chargers. We have 16 chargers in this house and 2 of them work. So I'd take a bunch of chargers so I have something to charge my phone with, the ones that I didn't steal. And then I'd take all the accessories. So at least you have some cool shit.
Yeah.
Taking a phone doesn't do you much good.
No, not at all. I mean, certain things are just not worth stealing. Phones are not worth stealing. If you're going to steal something out of the Apple store, steal the Macs. Steal the $5,000 Mac that's sitting on the table.
But
not a phone.
You probably could find. I mean, I don't know. Could you sell those on eBay? And
what, a computer?
The phone. And then
only if it's unlocked.
But if you said brand new iPhone hasn't been used in the box, and then somebody else buys it on eBay, can they unlock it and call Apple and say, "Hey"?
Well, they'll call it, and Apple say it's stolen, and then they'll trace back to the account that sold it. Or they'll trace back to the credit card or the PayPal account that took the money, and then the guy will get arrested still. And again, we are talking about the wrong end of this thing. The problem isn't how do you get any money out of these stupid things. The problem is that these people should be murdered for being such assholes. They are useless to society. Useless. What is their value to society, dude?
None.
I mean, none. None at all.
There is, the left says that there is.
Well, tell me what it is, lefties. I'd like to know. I want to hear somebody say, well, you know, they're just misguided youth. Shut it. Here's the difference. This latest riot in Philadelphia is another cop thing, right? Cop killed somebody?
Yes.
White cop killed black guy. Have you seen this video of the two black guys that come up and just beat the living hell out of and I think killed that white guy? The guy was just walking down the street and the two black guys come up and just beat the living shit out of him and kill him.
I don't know. I saw a video where I don't know if the guy got killed.
I think he died. The one
Chicago.
Yeah, in Chicago.
In the alley thing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he died. I could be wrong on that.
They beat the shit out of him.
They beat the shit out of him.
He's eating a piece of pizza.
Yeah. Where's the white mob? That's right. That's right. We're more civilized.
I mean, well, again, I don't want to try to turn it racial, but
I'm going to turn this racial. This is a racial. This is a racial thing. Hold on. And I'm going to turn it racial for one reason only.
Yeah.
The reason that it's racial is because the left are saying that the people in Philadelphia, the black people in Philadelphia that are robbing these stores, are entitled because they've been beaten down because of their race. That's what they're saying.
Yeah, right.
And I'm saying bullshit.
At the same time, if you look at the mobs of people like in Minnesota when the Floyd thing happened, all that kind of stuff, there were plenty of white people that were there too. So it's not just a white and black thing. It's an idiot thing.
I agree. And that's why I'm for killing them all. Anybody committing a crime, or you don't have to kill them necessarily. Let's get back to some real justice though. Let's get back to a crime like this. You break windows and you go into an iPhone store and steal a bunch of merch like that. Let's give people 10 years for that. Let's give them 10 years. I'm for Ude and Kuse in it. Cut their freaking hands off.
No, I'm not. Yeah, I don't disagree with you.
You know, it's time for some hard justice. We are so broken now on all levels. And again, like you said, it is not a racial thing. On all levels, we're broken. Good Lord knows if you watch On Patrol Live, you see every asshole under the sun that they meet every night is carrying meth by the hundreds of pounds or weed. So, you know, and that's all flavors, all colors. You know, every crime, I guarantee you that, you know, of course, the little clips that we're showing is black people robbing these stores. I guarantee you there's some white guys with some iPhone 15s in their pocket today, too.
Yeah, I'm sure there are.
But don't defend them and use race to defend them and then tell me that I can't argue that point. If you're going to use race as the reason that you defend it, I'm going to use race to attack it. You see what I'm saying?
If you missed some of the video, this is what we're talking about.
Oh my God!
This cackling fool.
Oh, I just want to see her dead.
Is standing there laughing as people are getting tossed to the ground.
Yeah. And
people are running out of another store, not just an Apple store. They were looting all over the place in Philadelphia, taking whatever they want. And she's standing there laughing, probably with a grocery bag underneath her arm.
What's her value to society again?
0.
None. She's useless. A useless bag of skin. That's what she is. You know, it's horrible, dude. It's just horrible what we're into now.
The country is broken.
Oh yeah.
You know, we talked about this before on this show, and you know, it's everywhere. It's at the border. It's in our own streets. I don't know if there's any coming back from this. I don't know who can stop it. Do you think Donald Trump is going to stop all the stuff that's going on? I don't. You need Superman at this point to come down and like just start cracking heads and.
See, you don't need Superman. Do it. Look,
you need Batman. You need something. You need somebody to come here and straighten people out. I don't know how you do it.
I do know how you do it. You do it the way they used to do it. You baton them hard. Did I tell the story about when I got arrested in Kent on this show? I don't know if I did or I didn't. So when I was 19 years old, I guess, or 18 years old, I got into a big fight in Kent at Filthy McNasty's. I got really drunk. Big brawl broke out. Everybody was throwing punches. Police showed up. I went running through back then there was woods behind that place, you know, trying to get away from the cops. At some point, a cop jumped out in front of me and I punched him in the face and I knocked his teeth out and I knocked him down. And, you know, and then I went and I hid in the back of somebody's pickup truck for a little bit, but it was middle of winter. So it's like 2 seconds. So after a couple minutes, I'd go walking out trying to find a phone or something to call my dad to come and get me.
Yeah.
And of course the police came up, they handcuffed me, they threw me over a car, and they beat the living hell out of me. I mean, they beat the shit out of me. They beat me so bad with my arms handcuffed behind my back that I couldn't straighten them for about a week. I was like this for about a week because they beat the living shit out of me and they beat my eyes closed with the batons and everything else. I mean, they beat the shit out of me. Moral to the story, should I have sued? Yes, no. What do you think? Should I have sued? I mean, they beat me sound.
Did you do it again?
I didn't do it again.
Did you learn your lesson?
Well, that's the point. That is my point, because I always had people that said to me that I should have sued. And I'm like, I earned that beating. I earned it.
Yes.
Today's society doesn't think that they're earning. They think that they're entitled to act like this without repercussion. I knew what I did. And I took a beating for it, and so be it. That's the way it happened.
And the whole thing, it starts even at home. If the parents would teach these kids to not act like fools and like animals, then maybe they wouldn't do it. If they got the beating at home for doing something stupid, maybe they would learn a lesson and not go out there and do it. There is no family anymore.
No.
He says RoboCop.
Well, they're trying that too.
She says Trump doesn't go in the Apple store and take stuff.
Brian hit it on the head here. Cops need to start using the wood shampoo. Absolutely right. Absolutely correct. And he's right there too. That's exactly the truth. I fucked around and found out. And that's true. And I'm not ashamed of that beating. I deserved that beating. I deserved everything that I got from that.
The looting started to be organized by the gangs. I saw a looter store set up on a Chardon in Cleveland. Box truck and a vacant lot, tables and tents set up selling clothes and drugstore stuff.
Great. Yeah, I mean, you got to if you don't put it down, then you might as well just accept that we're in Mad Max world now. Because we're fast tracking toward that.
Well, I agree. I mean, you have even liberal cities now getting so many illegals that they don't know what to do because crime and everything is out of control. They don't have housing for them. They don't have the resources to take care of them. And then you see videos of families picking up children and putting them through razor wire at the border to try to get in. the whole country
Yeah.
is completely screwed. Why do I feel like I wasted 12 years of my life in the military for those fucking idiots?
I'm with Tom on that. I mean, I didn't do 12, I did 5, but I feel the same way. Remember the movie Born on the 4th of July?
Yeah.
Remember the scene where Tom Cruise comes into the bar with Lieutenant Dan, whatever his real name is, Gary Sinise.
Yeah.
And Gary Sinise, like Tom Cruise is still trying to defend the government, and Gary Sinise is like, "What are you defending?" You know, and that's how I feel now. It's like, you know, why did I serve? Why did I put it on the line? Because this is what I put it on the line for.
The problem is those kids don't understand that. They don't understand because the schools aren't teaching it, because the government is who it's run by, especially now. But the kids don't understand that there are people that sacrifice for this country for that. I don't even know if I blame them for being stupid in that regard. Because I think, again, it goes down to parents, it goes down to schools. Schools are out of control, and parents are just useless anymore.
Yeah, well, that's it. So, I mean, yes and no. I agree with you that they don't know any better, but they do know a little better. You cannot tell me, and if you do, I'm going to call you a liar. You can't tell me that those people that were in that Apple store and ripping up Philly last night didn't know what they were doing was wrong.
Of course they know what they're doing is wrong.
So on that level, they don't care.
No, they don't. But at the same time, if you ask, I'll play this short video again, part of it anyways. If you ask this broad if she knows what D-Day is and who fought at D-Day and what it meant to this country, you think this idiot knows what happened?
Got one! Got one! Got one! Got one! Got one! Uh-huh! 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 Free iPhones! Free iPhones!
You think she understands what military members have done and fought for over this country? You think that even comes close to her thinking ever? Never.
No, never.
She's a fool.
Yeah.
She's stupid.
Mm-hmm. I agree. No disagreement here. My only disagreement is how to put it to bed. We got to end it.
It's organized crime, thuggery, organized smash and grabs. It may be I don't think it. Look, I think gangs back in the day, like the Bloods and the Crips and stuff like that, were actually smarter than these fools. They at least had a meaning behind what they were doing for the most part. They hated each other for a reason. And at least they went out there and, sometimes they wouldn't hurt the people that, like the Italian mob. They didn't hurt people that they didn't want to hurt. And they understood why they were doing it. These people are just stupid. They're just going out there and hurt whatever they can, take whatever they can, and they don't have any consequences for it.
No, none at all. No, I don't know. It's a mess, dude. The country. It's quite literally watching a bonfire on your livelihood, on your way of life.
And when I sit here and I was watching some of these videos before we came on, and the Republican debate is tonight, the second one. Trump's not going to be there. He's going to be doing another event of some sort. He's smart and he doesn't need to do it, so he might as well just do something that's going to compete with him. But I'm looking at the list of candidates that are up there, and and include Trump in that. And then I look at, obviously, the idiot that's in office now, and I don't think there's anybody up there that can save this country.
No, there's not.
It's not going to get any better.
No.
If Trump gets elected again, which is a good possibility he will, these idiots are going to act out even more.
Yeah. At some point, and this is what I don't understand. Oh, I know I'm saying that they should just be gunned down or whatever, and I know you can't do that. That's just my extremist attitude coming out. But you could gun them down with like the beanbag things, couldn't you?
Yeah, I guess you could, but
why aren't they doing that? Why aren't they just lining up cops and just mowing them down with these beanbags that'll put a serious welt on them and will knock them over, and then arrest them? Why are they trying to physically fight them in the store?
But if you watch, you're gonna. If you start firing beanbags at kids, these kids have guns and they're going to start firing back. I mean, you're asking for a big problem if you escalate the situation, I think, anyways, from what it already is.
But maybe we have to have that bloodbath. Maybe we have to have a Kent State moment to settle things down. And I know nobody likes to hear that, but maybe that's what we need. Maybe what we need is a true put down of this. Take some people out, and then when the riots start, take them out too. Maybe that's what has to happen in order to quell this. I mean, I don't know, but something's got to give here at some point.
And I understand, but who's going to authorize that? We don't have people in charge that are going to say, go ahead and do that.
And certainly not in a big city like Philly, no way.
Or New York or LA I mean, you just don't have it.
Which means the people are going to do it eventually.
Even in Cleveland, you don't have it. So I don't know what the actual answer is. I don't know. There's not a president out there that I think is going to change anything. I mean, if you're listening, watching, what do you think we can do? How do you do it? How do you take control of an out-of-control country? Do you have the National Guard just walk down the streets and start putting people in their homes until do we need lockdowns again? Do we need martial law in this country until we get things under control?
I hate to tell you, but you know what they're going to do? They're going to bring in NATO forces, people that are not committed to this country. That's what they'll do. They'll bring in NATO. They're not going to bring in, because they can't even trust the National Guard people. They can't trust the locals to fight the locals, to shoot their own. So they'll have to bring in people that are uncaring about us. You're going to literally you're going to see it. You will see it before we die. You will see NATO forces in our streets. We are fast tracking toward that right now.
Scott and Mom are apparently in Progressive Field watching Francona's last game as a manager for the Indians or Guardians.
Oh, you read the first time.
So, hi, Scott and Mom.
Yeah, enjoy.
And Scott, I'm going to work on getting Rachel Vadage, however you say her last name, on the show for you. I sent you the picture of her earlier.
Yes.
From Channel 19.
Yes.
So, yeah, I don't know what you do. I just look at the out-of-control stuff that keeps happening in our country, whether it's the border, whether it's in the streets of our towns, and you wonder what is next.
Yeah, I mean, and truthfully, with each passing day, this country becomes less American by the minute. I think I read something yesterday that just during Biden's time in this country, 10 million illegals have come into the country.
Oh, I'm sure, yes.
10 million. How many people live in Cleveland? 500,000? Million?
No, I mean, maybe 500,000.
Yeah, you're correct. You got me, Gunner, not NATO. I am corrected. UN. He's correct. So there's 500,000 in Cleveland. If there's 500,000 in Cleveland, that means 20 Cleveland's worth of people have crossed the border illegally.
Yeah.
20 Cleveland's. That's a lot of people.
And it keeps happening every single day. There's more and more. They just keep popping over.
And those people are getting influenced. They're getting, I keep seeing that they're getting, housing and funding and food and,
They're staying in hotels that I can't afford to stay in. They're doing it for nothing. And then they're getting jobs that probably better paying than I'm getting paid. These guys actually, that's what I got to do. All right, my plan is next week after the show today, I'm going to head to the border. I'm going to cross back over through a bunch of razor wire. I'm going to get stopped by Border Patrol, and then I'm going to get some free shit because things might be better for me.
Well, you might not even have to do all that, too. You might be able to just identify as a Mexican citizen.
Yeah. Well,
that seems to be something you're allowed to do now, is just pretend you're something you're not. So,
all right, we need to change the title up here on the top screen here. It's now the Luis Gonzalez Show featuring Chris Aiken. If we could put that up there, the Luis Gonzalez Show with Chris Aiken.
That's right.
Because I think if I'm that, then I can get myself some free stuff.
Yeah. I'm not going to be Chris Aiken now. I'm going to be like Pepe or something.
Yeah, you got Luis Gonzalez and Pepe.
Yeah.
We're going to, a new show, and we'll stay in the finest New York hotels, and we'll be okay.
Arriba, friends. Arriba.
Yeah. See.
Oh, we are a mess.
Luis and Pepe. Yes.
That's absolutely right.
We'll get some cervezas, and we'll be happy.
Mm-hmm. We'd be happier than we are watching these videos of Philly, that's for sure. Gee.
Yeah. Luis Gonzalez and Pepe.
There we go. It's the new show.
The new show is starting Monday. It'll be all over Rumble.
That's right.
Actually,
El Rumbello.
I don't think the people at El Rumbello would be very happy listening to the Luis and Pepe show.
Probably not.
Yeah, YouTube would be all about it. We'll have 400,000 viewers on YouTube.
That's right.
Because we're going to identify as
illegal Mexicans.
Illegal Mexicans. You know what's sad is they're all over the place here. Like last night I went to the gas station and there was a couple of guys and they have their landscaping and window washing truck out in the parking lot of the garage of the gas station.
Right.
And I'm not joking. That's not like a joke to say they're landscapers. They are actual landscapers.
Okay.
And they couldn't speak a lick of friggin' English. And they were just talking in Spanish. I even said, hey, how you doing? Because I had to go around them. And I got nothing because they couldn't understand what the hell I was saying.
Right.
And they're not here legally and past, they didn't go to Brecksville Broadview Heights High School and pass the English class with everything that they were talking.
Right.
And so there's no doubt there's just illegals everywhere. They're just moving throughout the country, going wherever they want to go.
Well, why not? I mean, if they're smart, they're not going to stay in, Bisbee in Arizona. They're going to get integrated somewhere else so that they can't be caught.
A video of a Border Patrol agent the other day talking to a guy that just crossed the border, and he goes, where do I have to go? And the Border Patrol guy goes, you can go wherever. Doesn't matter.
Right.
And the guy said, Chicago? And the border agent on camera said, I said go wherever you want. Just go.
Right.
And this guy who just crossed across a river is now walking his way to wherever he wants to go. And his plan, I guess, is Chicago.
Yeah. Yeah. Now that he's across, all he needs is what, $60. He can get on a bus, get all the way there.
That's a great idea, Tom.
Sombreros?
We're going to get sombreros. Yeah, get rid of that smoking rock and roll hat.
Yeah, get rid of that and get a sombrero on.
Yeah. We'll get a poncho. I'll tell you, this show is going to be completely revised come Monday when I now identify as an illegal Mexican immigrant and am going to take advantage of free stuff. I can do the show from the free hotel room in New York.
Right. Why not? I'm sure they get free Wi-Fi too.
Absolutely.
I'm sure that comes with it. So why not?
Do I get free Taco Bell?
Maybe. We're joking.
So many things I want to say, and I'm like watching what I say.
Yeah, I'm glad you are, because I'm not, obviously. I'm angry is what I am. I'm just so angry at seeing this nonsense. And I'm tired of trying to pretend that it isn't what it is. I'm tired of not being able to say that it's a bunch of hoodlums that are black, primarily. And I know that's not, again, I'm not trying to broad brush it or anything, but I'm going to say it the way it is, because that's what we're looking at. We're not looking at a diverse crowd that's persecuted against. We're looking at one race that is acting up with 80% of this stuff.
Let's look at the crowd.
Oh my God!
Got one! Got one! Got one! Got one! Uh-oh. Tie him! That's, oh my God. Free Philly! Free Philly! Okay, don't touch him! Oh my God, record this! Record this! Record this! Record this!
Isn't she recording this?
Yeah. Don't touch him. Don't touch the guy that was literally just stealing stuff and breaking out windows of the store. Don't touch him.
It's really sad to see all those Swedish people rioting like that, isn't it?
In fairness, though, there were a bunch of black cops as well that were
there. Look, again, I'm not castigating the race. I still judge people one of two ways, and it ain't black and white. It's good or asshole. And unfortunately, there wasn't a whole lot of good in those 3 videos you just showed.
Thank you, Pepe, for pointing that out.
You're right. No problem, Luis.
All right, let's take a quick break. We have our band coming up here.
Cool.
We have Tom and Josh coming up from the Fifth Wheel.
Great.
A little old school stuff.
Absolutely.
And now you got to check out like the greatest commercial probably ever, in my opinion.
All right.
So this is like the best that you're going to get today.
All right.
Don't miss a single episode of The Seth Williams Show. The Seth Williams Show airs on Mondays and Wednesdays from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time on the SethWilliamsShow.com, CMSTV.net, and Rumble. Catch replays of the show Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time at CMSTV.net or on CMSRadio.net. On-demand replays of each show can be found at www.cmspn.com. With wild content about everything going on in the world today, The Seth Williams Show is the one talk show you can't afford to miss. Tune in every day online, on your phone, or wherever you get great podcasts. Be part of the fun of The Seth Williams Show every day.
Are you looking for a way to support The Seth Williams Show? Get your Seth Williams Show merchandise today. From coffee mugs to clothing and everything in between, our high-quality merch is the perfect way for you to not only support the show, but show everyone what is the greatest show going today. Just go to shop.thesethwilliamsshow.com now, shop around, and buy some great merchandise from The Seth Williams Show. Shop today.
There's no place like home, and whether it's furniture, artwork, home accessories, appliances, or that one-of-a-kind collectible, Yellow Brick Road Online Auctions allows you to find everything you need from the comfort of your own home. The owner of Yellow Brick Road Auctions has been conducting online estate auctions for over 8 years by providing homeowners with a stress-free process to liquidate all items that have accumulated over the years.
I'm Melissa Mendici, owner of Yellow Brick Road Auctions. Log on today to find your heart's desire.
Right back here, the Luis Gonzalez Show with Pepe.
Hey, hey. CC?
Yes, we are illegals doing the show tonight.
That's right.
We learned English fast, though. We did pretty quick. I'm going to keep playing. No matter whether Melissa pays or not, we're going to keep playing her commercial for Rick. So check out yellowbrickroadauctions.com, and Rick will be happy forever.
Great.
All right, time to get to our first guest of the evening.
That's right.
The Fifth Wheel is the name of the band.
Right on.
And let's welcome Tom and Josh to the show.
How's it going, guys?
Good. How you guys doing?
Hello.
So I apologize for bringing you in on the Luis and Pepe show.
Well, we're honored to be part of the inaugural episode.
Yes, and you are. So welcome. We are illegal here, so the ratings just went up by 500%. Because we are broadcasting illegally and to all the illegals.
That's right.
Oh my!
Thank you for being a part of it. So thank you guys for coming on. The Fifth Wheel. Tom, I've known you for a while. Josh, welcome.
Well, we met one time, Seth.
I was probably drunk. So
no, you were driving.
Oh, when was this?
It was years ago when LeBron James came back to Akron.
Yeah.
And remember everybody congregated over on his street?
Yes, I do.
And you drove down and broadcast over the phone or something. I went up to your SUV or whatever you were in. I was like, took a quick selfie with you.
I do remember that now, yeah. and back then, not that I'm much better now, but I was growing my hair out because Triv wanted to cut my hair and shave my beard.
Oh, yeah.
For the next benefit that we had. So I looked like really mountain man, and Ray still decided to send me out to LeBron James's house in Bath and stand outside with TV cameras and everything else. And I looked like a dick standing out there, but it was fun. Yeah, I remember that. That's cool.
Very cool, man. Well, guys, let's talk a little bit about this anniversary show that you guys are doing. October the 20th over at Jilly's in Akron. Tell us a little bit about the show and about, what the band is up to these days. It's been a while.
Been a little bit, on and off, but, I don't know, the last, Josh, 4, 5, 6 years, we've been dabbling at some things, and then COVID's, screwed a lot of things up. We were going to do a tribute to our Nothing album during, 2020, and then COVID kind of, put a big squash on that. And so we, got the other two guys back together here, end of last year, beginning of this year. And so let's, we're not getting any younger. Let's do this. And it's actually been great. It's like, never missing a beat. And it's going to be real fun.
Sure. Now, when you say it's like not missing a beat, is it really, or did it take a little while to kind of find your groove again? There's it's a big difference when you have, years apart and then come back together. You're older. Everybody changes a little bit. Was it, different or same as it always was?
I guess between, March when we kind of got started in this to now, we can say that. But yeah, there was some, oh crap, what did we play there? And
right.
like the structuring the songs, that's been the work. But I mean, we never missed a beat when the four of us kind of like just our vibe together. And like when we had to work through the songs and stuff and figure them out again. But like that vibe was immediately there. So It was kind of like jumping, like we had a show in 97 and hey, here's the next gig,
Right. No doubt.
So in 1990, first of all, tell people what kind of music you guys play.
Yeah, it's like pop alternative rock. I guess that's the best comparison.
Kind of that 90s kind of lyric based kind of REM, Smiths,
Toad the Wet Sprockety, Gin Blossoms. In that vein, somewhere in between there. It's hard to pinpoint it, but that's
sure. Well, and looking back at that time period, that probably about 95 to about 2001 here in town, and not just here in town, but regionally, because I'll definitely put Pittsburgh in that area as well. There was such a good scene for it. I mean, of course, there was the national scene that a lot of those bands that you just named came from, but there was such a strong vibe here. We had radio shows, we had the alternation, and we had, the end, and, Jim Benson and Pat, the producer, were doing their show on, I mean, there was a scene for it. When you look back at it now, is that the biggest thing that's missing today? Is that scene and that camaraderie compared to what we had?
You hit it on the head. We've been talking about this for days. How, when we got going, even, kind of 94, it was kind of there because we were just getting out there, and it was like, okay, well, we're playing in front of 30 people. Then the next show, it's 60 people, and it's 100 people. And, 95, it really started exploding. Like you said, Johan, who was the talent buyer at the Agora, took on the Inner Sanctum with Pat, the producer.
Right.
Jim Benson, college radio, all that stuff. And, Rocco from the end, Rick Bennett, he was like the assistant program director. He started adding, local music into regular rotation. That's when it really exploded. And if you think about it too, because, Chris, you're not like the, acoustic jangle rock guy,
right?
But, the diversity of bands in that era, from us to Mushroom Head to that's probably the extreme in the 90s.
Sure.
And everything in between. The reggae scene in Cleveland was great. First Light and Carlos Jones and all those guys, and everybody came out to see everybody. It was really we had a legitimate scene. The Scene magazine was at its peak in that
Sure.
time. It was a good run for 7, 8, 9 years, and then the scene was strong from really Canton all the way to Cleveland and Pittsburgh, but even into Buffalo and
right.
And see,
Ann Arbor.
that's the kind of stuff that I remember. Like when I started working at MMS, I got to host like a local music show, and then I actually used to hosted like Peabody's and and the Odeon and stuff, like local music shows at the venues. And it was great because you would get a wide variety of music and everything like that. It was really such a great scene. People would send their CDs to the radio station, and we'd actually be able to play some of them.
Right.
MMS jumped on that bandwagon too. One of the guys playing with us, Bill Stone from Paranoid Lovesick, they had 2 songs that popped over to MMS on regular rotation. So
sure. Well, and you know, one of the unique parts of that whole time was the other piece of it too is I don't think the fan base itself was as locked in musically. Like I know for me personally, I was fine with Mushroom Head or Crypt Kicker, because I'm a metal guy. That being said, I went to plenty of Paranoid Lovesick shows. I went to a bunch of Yvette shows. I went and saw Cinematic and those types of bands too. And I saw the same people that I saw at the Crypt Kicker shows and at the Mushroom Head shows. It just seemed like that 8-10 year window was so tuned into just supporting the local scene. It wasn't necessary. I mean, the bands were good and that obviously helps, but it just seems like everybody was more than willing to support a band because they were from Cleveland over, well, they don't play the kind of music that I listen to every day. Is that what you guys remember?
Well, it's true. I mean, you got to look at kind of the hierarchy, the infrastructure. The Cleveland Music Group was a nonprofit that had a board that we met. I was the vice president of Cleveland Music Group for 3 years. We were all connected with the end, and then the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame came in, and Scene Magazine. We all communicated. We all promoted. It wasn't like one style of music. It was a big push for everybody. And I think, we're taking compilations to South by Southwest, and we're promoting, the region year after year after year after year. I mean, Cleveland had its own music conference for, almost a decade, Undercurrents, if you remember that. Yeah. So, we were, Cleveland was, it wasn't quite Seattle. A lot of bands didn't really break out of here, but we get a lot of attention out there. Don't you agree, Josh?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like what that kind of all reminded me of is how, like everybody supported everybody, and you'd go, even if you're in a band, you're going to see the other bands. It didn't matter what genre. It was about the scene. It reminded me of how a collection of 4 or 5 bands, Tom, a couple of times we chartered a, chartered the bus, but it was a big
Cleveland.
Bus.
That was Cleveland Music Group did that.
Yeah.
We did 2 trips to the Cleveland Showcase, CBGBs, and took 7, 8 bands out, and it was Cleveland night in New York City, and we did that a couple times. That was fantastic.
So what do you guys feel is different about now that you're back at it and doing everything again? And what's different about the scene now? I mean, how much has it changed?
I'm not probably as dialed in as some people, just because, I'm older and I work for a living now. And, 30 years ago, that was our life, and we lived and slept it. But, I think if you look and, you read Scene Magazine or, the other things going on, it's kind of got this like metal, 2/3 metal, 1/3 rap kind of thing going on. I think maybe in Akron it's a little more alternative stuff going on down here, but
see,
I just don't think there's like that unified like push to. There's not that, we had like Chris said, we had the end, like that was like you listen to that from 7 to 9 on Sunday nights to find out who was playing, what they were playing, who to go see, and it's starting to happen a little bit. It seems like there's some new stuff going on, but it's a little disjointed.
My favorite thing about Scene Magazine back in the day was, one, they'd have the big page of like list of Agora, and they have all the bands that were going to be there for like the next 2 months, and then back page was like the greatest thing ever.
I knew you were going to say the back page.
And so I miss Scene Magazine for both those reasons. But yeah, and I also miss the clubs. I miss the the Peabodys and the Odeons and stuff like that. I think they might still do some stuff, but I mean, it was such a good local scene. Not only national bands, but they did have local bands playing out all the time that you could just go check out. Now you got to find a bar somewhere to go see bands. But I mean, that's the way it's done. So I guess I'm looking forward to just seeing your guys' show.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think a big thing that's probably missing now too, though, is like we said, the whole music industry has changed, and the camaraderie certainly is not there like it used to be. But, there was something, and this is going to sound dumb, but it's just how I think it really is. There was something about going and seeing your friends play, buying their CD, and being able to say, yeah, here's my collection of bands that I know. And going.
What were we just talking about the other night, Josh, with the whole tangible thing?
Yeah, the whole having something in your hand.
And you lose that when it's all right here. You completely lose that sense of the music's not as important anymore, and it's all distant. You guys' music would be no different than if I bought if I listened to Rusted Root on here, or Alanis Morissette or Taylor Swift. It's all just prepackaged into one thing now. There's no I mean, you guys remember CDs were cheap as hell from local bands. You get a CD for like $3 or something, or free sometimes if you bought a ticket to the show or whatever. But man, everybody had their collection of local CDs, and you took them with you to get them signed. And I'm sure you guys probably signed your guys' CDs 2-3 times on the same CD, because everybody was committed to the scene. Now it's so fractured that everything's a specialty type of music, and there's no tangible product anymore to latch onto. You agree?
We had a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about this very same topic. That's why at this show, we actually recorded several live shows where we had some like extra instruments, some horn players and things like that. And Regis Sedlock, you probably know him, engineer around Cleveland. He recorded a couple shows, and we're actually going to release this record exclusively on CD, and you can get it at the show. And it's a live record from that show in '97, and it sounds amazingly, pretty awesome. There's a few tunes we had to cut out because we screwed them up, but it's good. But I think it's important, like the people that are going to leave that show, and we have a couple of our other records we reprinted on CD for that night, but that new live one, it's going to be $6, and you can take it home with you, and you can pop it in your car if you have a CD player in your car still and listen to it. So right on. It's important. I think more and more you look at the resurgence of vinyl and even cassette tapes right now. People want to hold that stuff in their hands now. I mean, maybe it's just our generation more so than anybody, but
yes,
it's coming back.
My daughter, the only thing that she wants to hold in her hand is a cardigan that she spent $100 for from Taylor Swift. That was probably made in India by some child in a hut somewhere, but it has a patch that says Taylor on it, and now it's worth $100.
Well, at least she has something.
That's right. But yeah, I miss having the music. Of course, it's really easy for lazy people like me to put on Spotify and pick out the songs that I want. But the streaming thing definitely isn't the same as just having a CD like you used to. What's the show going to be like on the 20th? You have an opening band and everything.
Josh?
Oh, yeah. We got a bunch of special guests. We really worked on not just this, like a bunch of dead air in between songs. Like we kind of really designed it to tailor ourselves so we can have kind of command over the show and not, we've been building our endurance. We're doing a 2-hour show, but we have some special guests coming up and join us and playing with a couple songs. Tracy Thomas is going to do a lead vocal on a cover song. And then just, we have Rocco and Danger Girl.
Carrie Danger from Alternative Cleveland 107.3.
Right,
They're
yeah,
going to
yeah.
come out MC.
So it's gonna be, kind of more like a showcase night, like not just this kind of like, hi guys, we're gonna play,
Right.
We wanted to kind of make it a little bit more of a production. We're gonna have cake afterwards. We have the CDs, we have merch and stuff like that. So just a fun, night where everybody's kind of getting back together and feeling kind of that 90s vibe again. And
sure,
that's what it's about. It's not really about us doing the show. It's kind of about the show.
Well, you're having cake, so I'm going to be there.
Cake.
You can count me in.
Where did you guys find Rocco? What was he doing, or what is he doing? I haven't heard his name.
I'm
in
friends with him
forever.
on Facebook.
Are you? I
Yeah,
haven't heard of Rocco in years.
I've kept in touch with him over the years for different things. Back in 2020, my wife and I have a little production studio down here in Medina County. During COVID, we did a lot of like live stream stuff and multi-camera stuff, and we had this kind of fundraiser during COVID for like music for kids for Christmas. And I just like out of the blue said, "Hey, why don't you come down here and like record all the intros?" Because we had about 15 bands that came in and record some Christmas tunes, and so he was like, "Heck yeah, I'm coming down." So he sat for 3 hours and recorded all these intros and outros and on video, and we've just last few years we've really bounced ideas off of each other. We're talking about actually him bringing a Rock Dog podcast out, and
nice.
Didn't he have some health problems?
He does have some health problems, and it's kind of affecting him right now. He just got out of the hospital again, so but his spirits are up. He's stoked to still come out to the show, and
I thought he was like me. I thought he had some
he
issues
is.
He does.
He does.
I definitely try to keep up with him on Facebook, and I'd like to actually talk to him a little bit more about some of that stuff. So if
him and his wife and his daughters are coming out, and
cool.
He's excited. He texted me 10 days ago. He's like, "I got some bad news. I'm in the hospital. Had to turn for the worse, but I'm fine now, and I'll still be there." I'm like,
nice.
"All right, good."
All right, good. Well, my thoughts are in prayers with him definitely too, because I kind of understand. I kind of get it. So,
yep.
So, show's October 20th. What time doors open, and how do people get tickets?
Doors at 6. Show starts 7-ish, 7:15, something like that. So Masonic, another band down from us, our way, is going to open up. We got, like Josh said, Tracy Thomas from Unit 5 back in the 80s. She's going to do a tune with us. Bill Stone from Paranoid Lovesick is going to do a tune with us. Brian Lissick, he's like an area writer plus music guy. He's been around forever. Doing a tune with us, and it's gonna be great. Tickets at thefifthwheelmusic.com. I just got it noticed there was like 3 reserved seats that opened up, so I posted that on our page today. So those are probably gone by now, but it's only general admission left. I think there might be 25 tickets or 20 tickets left. So
how big is the
not
place?
too many. It holds about 300-ish.
Okay.
Give or take. I'm not real sure totally.
I've never actually been there. So what is it? Is it like a bar, restaurant kind of thing, or what kind of place is it?
It's kind of a mix. It's got some table seating, like a standing room area, kind of like a more upscale. I don't want to say upscale. I don't know, how would you describe it?
It's like a rockin' lounge.
Yeah, it is. That's perfect. It's a rock and roll lounge. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's awesome, man. Well, I'm looking forward to checking it out. I'm gonna go.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna check it out. So
awesome.
I appreciate you guys coming on tonight. I saw that you wanted to give away some tickets. You want to try giving away some tickets? That's fine with me.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, we're almost sold out, but we got 2 pairs. We'll give out to 2 people.
All right.
Cool.
If they want to email info@thefifthwheelmusic.com, we'll randomly, pick 2 winners out of all those entries, and
Great.
We'll get them in for free.
That free is good.
Yeah, free.
It's only $7 anyway. So
well, I mean, that's basically free anyhow. So I don't know what people
are basically free.
But if people want to go, I'm going to put the. There we go.
Jilly's the rock and roll lounge we're doing it at. It has a lot of history. It used to be one of our. Back in the 90s, it was under a different name, but man, that was our home field. That bar, back in the 90s, it was one of our favorite spots to play. So it's cool to be doing the reunion in that building.
Yeah.
Well, check it out. If you want to go for free, info@thefifthwheelmusic.com. I'm going to pick a couple of winners for that, but you can get tickets at thefifthwheelmusic.com. So appreciate you guys coming on tonight. Much appreciated. Tom, thank you for everything as usual. I'm sure I'll be talking to you again about issue 1.
Yes.
Because that's a big one that we got coming up. So we're going to talk to you. Josh, thank you. Good to see you again. Nice. And take care of those chickens in your backyard there, Tom.
Don't worry. They're well maintained.
Are those, I'm sorry, real quick, are those, you have chickens. And last time I saw them, they're cute. They're fun. Are they edible, or are those like just for fun to have as pets?
No, they're egg layers. Yeah, I think when you came, I had about 10, but I think we're up to like 22 or 23 now. So.
Wow.
They're like the band Spirit Animals too. Like we rehearse down here, so like when we take breaks, we're like go out and meditate around the chickens and.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Those chickens just wandering around, and I love it. But see me, I'm a fat guy who loves chickens, so I don't know how long they last around me. Kentucky Fried Seth.
They make a good omelet.
Nice. Very good.
Nice.
Well, thank you guys for coming on. Appreciate it. We'll check out that show.
Appreciate it. Thefifthwheelmusic.com.
Fantastic. Thank you, gentlemen.
Tickets, merch, all that
Thanks,
stuff
guys.
there. Appreciate it, guys.
Thank you. Have a great night. See ya. I'm going to check out that. Well, where'd Chris go? There he goes.
I'm here.
I'm going to check out the show.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be a good time.
I would think so, too.
Known Tom for a while. He's a good dude. And Josh, I remember meeting him now at the outside of LeBron's house.
Right.
In fairness, though, I was drunk that night, so I just forgot everything.
Between you and I, we end up, everybody knows us from somewhere.
Yeah.
Product of being in the scene for 30 years or whatever it's been.
And you did work for Scene Magazine.
I did. Yeah, I mean, and dude, the show right before we went on in at 92.3 was the local show. I forget what it was called at that time, but it was with Pat the producer and Jim Benson. So I know those guys real well too, because and I probably ran into the Fifth Wheel a few times, up there for that show.
I know I hosted a local show on MMS for a little while. So if you want a pair of tickets for nothing, info@thefifthwheelmusic.com. Info@thefifthwheelmusic.com.
Yep. Tom just hit it. The Inner Sanctum. That's right. That's right. Seems like it's been a million years.
I know. I am telling you. All right, let's take a quick break. I don't know if Tony's going to join us or not.
Okay, well, if he does,
I don't care.
Well, we got the Browns thing to do, too. So
we got the Browns thing to do. Don't forget, we have officially changed the name to the Luis Gonzalez and Pepe Show.
That's right.
Because we are illegals now. So we will
right.
continue in uno momento.
What separates Triv's restaurant in Strongsville from everybody else? Some restaurants you go to eat the same thing over and over and over. But then there are restaurants like Triv's, where you want to go there every single time and eat something different until you have eaten every single item on the menu. Why? Because the food's delicious, and it has been for almost a quarter of a century. Triv's has amazing food, outstanding service, and an opportunity for you to have private dining, special events, and intimate occasions. You can enjoy a memorable fine dining experience in your own dedicated, intimate space. Visit Triv's in the heart of Strongsville. Call now for reservations, 440-238-8830. Triv's in Strongsville. Joe Burdick custom flags are amazing. Each flag is handcrafted to reflect the imperfect perfection, making each piece of patriotic wall art unique. This is a local small business, veteran-owned and proud. Joe Burdick creates symbolic artwork that is built to last. Display your spirit, pride, and patriotism by calling 440-305-2065 and let Joe's Flag serve you. 440-305-2065. Joe Burdick Flags. Let me introduce you to Charlie's Auto Repair. Any car, any truck, any problem, Charlie's does it right. You know how it is. The check your engine light comes on, you put air in the tires, and the light is still on. 216-470-0170. That's Charlie's Auto Repair, 13728 Madison in Lakewood. Charlie can do it all, from small engine repair to fleet maintenance and system diagnostics. 216-470-0170. Charlie's Auto Repair. Let Charlie make your car great once again.
Hermano, cayó la ley, está rodeada tu casa.
Back here on the Luis Gonzalez and Pepe show.
That's right. So what are we going to talk about now, Luis?
That's our new show open.
So much for the national anthem.
Yeah,
the country's dead anyway.
Yeah, the country's gone. So we are now going to open up with that.
Yeah, it's perfect. What a disaster we're in now.
Yeah, don't you miss those local music times though? I do.
Dude, I do, man. It was always so much fun just being part of that scene. And it didn't matter, like I said during the interview, it did not matter what bands you were I mean, I'm known as metal guy, I guess, because of the metal show and various things that I've done, but dude, I went to so many of those different kinds of shows and of all different styles. I can remember going and seeing bands like, and here I'll name some real obscure ones. Obviously Paranoid Lovesick was one of them. Yvette was one of them. Do you remember the string cheese incident?
I do, actually. Yeah.
I remember seeing them a couple of times. And Rusted Root, when they would come
Rusted Root, I love Rusted Root.
And they would come in from, they're Pittsburgh, right? Pittsburgh area, I think.
I believe so, yeah.
It was just a cool scene, and everybody supported everybody. And, I can remember booking tours, like little tours here in town. When I had my music magazine, Music's Bottom Line, we used to trade shows with local bands. We would send them to Chicago, and then there was a magazine up there called Midwest Beat, and the guy that ran that place would send bands here. And we did all kinds of cool stuff with them. We would send Cleveland bands to Chicago to go and play. And then we would repay the favor here, book a show here and then have the Chicago band play. And we brought in some bands that, had some juice.
Yeah.
Like little band that you might have heard of called Disturbed.
Yeah, there you go.
Before they were Disturbed and everybody knew them, They came down. They came down from Chicago and played. It was cool.
I just remember hosting a lot of those shows. What was it? It was Peabody's down there by the Rascal House, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there was a band called Seven.
Seven? Oh yeah.
And I liked them. They were really cool. Chimera.
Oh yeah. Well, they obviously did big things.
I mean, there were a lot of good local bands back in the day, and what was cool about it is that there was a band called Morning Star that I was friends with for a while.
Sure.
Pat Butler had his band, or I think still does his stuff now, right?
Pat, the
Signal 30.
Signal 30, yeah. Signal 30, sure.
And it, but the local scene back in the late 90s, early 2000s because it died quickly
Mhm.
after. But it was fun, and it was fun to go to the clubs. It was fun to have all these bands, and they treated you like family. I got up on stage, I got to bring these kids out singing, and they just were having a blast, man. And again, all the bands would be there, and so they'd all bring their family and friends, and they all had to sell their own tickets to the damn show, which sometimes sucked for them. But it was a buzz in the scene of local music.
Well,
the Hostile Amish.
Yeah, they were another one. One of the things
Love those guys.
Yeah, they were fun. One of the things that people have forgotten was, and because that scene was so thriving back then, everybody was putting everything they had into it. So when you would go to a local show in the mid-90s or early 2000s, it was like a national show, pretty similar. In fact, usually you'd get better production. I mean, I can remember friends' bands trying stuff and blowing up stages and stuff because they didn't know exactly what they were doing, but they were, packing flash pots with enough TNT to blow the club up, and but that was part of it. It was everybody was trying to be national level, and there were so many of them that were real good. I know I mentioned Vet before; they were really good and they were really close. And Cinematic got signed, and they
I remember
put out a record.
Cinematic. I do remember them.
Yeah, they put out a record
had
on the
song I
Gears.
thought that I really liked though. I thought they did have there was like a really good kind of hit song.
Well, they did have I forget what it's called. It's like I forget what it was called.
I mean, it's been so many years since
Cinematic. I'm looking them up right now.
Corey Hawkins, our friend.
Yeah.
He's been in like 8,000 bands.
Right. Well, he had a bunch of bands that were out and about in that time period. But dude, our guy that does the Dog Pound details. He was the lead singer of Gatlin.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I know. I think I remember that band.
Yeah, he was the lead singer of Gatlin, and then I forget what the other band. I can't believe he's gonna kill me if he sees this, and I can't remember the other band that he was in. Yeah, Sin Dust. Sin Dust was another big band at the time. Bazooka Proof.
Bazooka Proof. I remember those guys. I was just literally about to say Bazooka Proof. Right.
Bazooka Proof were like the heavy metal Cleveland Village people.
Now I remember there was a band that had it's obviously not Seven Dust, but they had a black singer, local band. And they were kind of heavy, but they were fucking amazing.
Had a black singer.
Yeah, I can't remember the damn name. Why can't I remember the band's name? There was Liquid with, our guy Joey DePasquale.
Yeah.
Who's now the lead singer of Disco Inferno.
Right.
Liquid though, they had their shit. Fatal Charm.
Fatal Charm. Man, now we're naming some bands from the old days. Holy smokes.
I'd like to get Disco Inferno on the show. Do you know Joey enough to talk to him and say, come on the show?
I know somebody that I don't know him real well personally.
Billy knows him pretty well.
But I was going to say, Billy certainly knows him. I don't know if Billy's on good terms with them or not. I think he is.
I thought he was at the
he probably is at this point. Billy doesn't have enemies for long. Billy will get mad at people and then they just get over it.
I don't know if Billy's ever mad at me because he never takes my phone call. So I'm just he's working or maybe he is pissed at me. I have no idea, but I don't think so. I don't think I've given him a reason not to.
No, Billy's just horrible at
everything.
Phones and communication.
Like he's the hardest worker I've ever seen in my life. Can do just about anything. Yeah. Except for answer a damn phone call.
Yeah, he's terrible on the phone. He is.
You know who I saw the other night? Who I went and saw?
Who?
Breakfast Club.
Oh, nice. How was the show? Was it good?
Yeah, it was really good.
It was
really good. With what's his name? Dave Brooks.
Dave Brooks is back. Is he in town now, or is he just
the lead singer?
Okay, I didn't realize he moved because he moved to L.A. for a while. I thought.
Steve Raz from Escape. Used to be in a band, Escape, the Journey band, and now with Breakfast Club. But yeah, it was really good. It was fun. They're a fun band to watch. But Dave Brooks is like in his 60s or something now. So he's like, I mean, I'm not saying anything bad about Dave Brooks, but I'm just saying when that guy with Breakfast Club would get on the stage back in the day,
Yeah.
I mean, he would control that stage like you were watching again, like a professional freaking, rock show somewhere, like 80s rock show. And now he's a little bit older. It's a little bit different.
Settling into the middle of the stage.
Yeah, it's like, hey. But it was still good. It still sounds good, and it was a good show.
Sure. Dude, just all that whole time was just fun, man. It really was
There
fun.
were great cover bands. There were great local bands. I mean, there was a band I used to go out and see on the east side all the time. Your Way, Dave's Planet. And these guys would pack a house everywhere that they went on the east side. And it was just and they were good. I mean, it was good music to go see. I don't know what the hell's out there anymore.
Yeah, dude, I'm just thinking to myself, all these bands that I used to know, Coma Trip and Toxin and Biased Fear and
those guys.
I mean, there was so many of them that were out at that time. 216, 13 Faces, Victory Flag. I mean, there was a ton. Runt, 10,000 Cadillacs. I mean, there was just tons of bands.
Yeah.
And they were all as good as anything that was coming out nationally at the time.
It's kind of sad that scene's gone. I mean, I don't even know where to go see a good local show anymore.
Well,
other than if you look up, people like Breakfast Club and stuff like that.
Well, the fact of it is it wasn't when we're saying that it's gone, it's not gone. It all got old.
I guess.
The next generation, we unfortunately, and I blame us because even my kids are guilty of this. So we didn't raise our kids to fully appreciate music the way we were taught to appreciate it.
Yeah.
And that is one of the biggest problems that's out there today is that the kids, the kids today, unless they played it on Guitar Hero, then they don't know the song. They don't, my kids wouldn't be able to tell you the first thing about owning a CD or owning an album or they don't know anything about that. They just don't. And for us, that was everything. I don't remember Mike Risco. Do you?
I know what he looks like, and I think I'm friends with him on Facebook.
I don't know Mike Risco. Remember Rick Ray?
I remember the name.
I think he's still doing it. It's like 40 years later, he's still doing it.
Like Disco Inferno is probably one of my favorite bands to go see now. But the problem is you can't even get into a show.
Yeah. Well, that's why you go see Billy's band. Billy's another one.
Sunset Strip.
But I mean, how many bands was Billy in the 90s and whatnot? Kid Wicked, and then obviously Warrant and stuff on the national level. But I mean, Billy had his time too, that he was the king of the local. He was like the king of the local for a minute. Then he went and became national guy, and then he came back to be fucking local guy again.
Mike Risco, guitarist, vocalist, Cleveland progressive metal band Ego, Nosferatu.
Do you remember the band By Accident?
No.
I loved that band. A lot of people hated them. I loved them. They were like this, it was like Typo Negative type of a band, but if Typo Negative somehow became like a death metal band. It was the weirdest combination of that weird voice. The singer, I forget his name, but I knew him at the time. He carved up, shaved his teeth down into fangs and stuff. Like he went all the way in for By Accident. And I just remember seeing them, and they would play shows that people hated them because they were too heavy and the voice didn't match the music or whatever. But for me, I couldn't get enough. I loved it. It's too good.
Charlie from Charlie's Auto Repair in Lakewood. How you doing? Politically incorrect mechanic, Charlie. Charlie's Auto Repair in Lakewood, great place. I hope you fixed my wife's car today.
Yeah, get to work, Charlie. Stop listening to us.
Typo Negative.
Yeah,
Did you like Typo Negative?
You know what? They're a weird band for me. When they were going, no. Now, they're one of my favorites ever.
Yeah, I love them. I hate the fact that dude, Like
Peter
everybody,
Steele?
yeah, Peter Steele. Like my wife wanted to sleep with him, and may have, I don't know. But yeah, because he was like ridiculously good looking.
Yeah, and Hugh, you ever meet him? I met him.
I saw him. I didn't meet him.
He had to be 6'6", 6'7".
Really?
That dude was basketball height. He was huge.
I'm trying to look at a picture of him.
Hey, you better be careful with that because he did play girl. You're going to get the wrong pictures on your screen.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was I don't know how to. I'm not gonna share the picture. I don't know how to share pictures. I've only been doing this for a year and a half, and I don't know what the hell I'm doing. But yeah, he's a good-looking dude.
Yeah, well, not anymore. Now he's dead.
And that's why I stressed was.
Yeah.
It's nice and quiet now. She picked it up already, you prick. Thanks. Thanks, Charlie. I hope it didn't cost me my other leg.
Well, you don't need it.
Yeah, what's that for? Yeah. Probably gonna lose it anyways.
Nah. You're only due to lose one in a lifetime, dude.
So this is the way my wife works. Right?
Yeah.
Not to change the subject. We'll get back to it, all the local music and stuff. But the way my wife works is for like a month, her car's been making a noise underneath the car.
Right.
Right? It's been making some weird noise, something jiggling around down there, whatever it is. And I've been saying, call Charlie, take it in.
Right.
All right, I'm going to call Charlie. Take it in. And nothing. Every day I get in the car, it's still rattling like crazy. I'm like, well, did you call Charlie? No, I didn't call Charlie. Well, can you call him, take it in so we can get this damn thing fixed? Because when we roll up to somebody's house, we sound like assholes because the car sounds like it's going to explode when we pull into somebody's driveway. I'll call him. Nothing. So last night I finally said, all right, that's it. I called Charlie. I said, hey, can we bring the car in tomorrow and have this car fixed? Yes, thank you. Now it's done. Why? Because I'm the man of the house and apparently I have to do stuff.
Too funny.
I don't get it. But I want to thank Charlie and Charlie's Auto Repair in Lakewood for
of course
doing that. Jackie.
Oh, yeah.
Jackie now is an extraordinarily good looking woman.
Yeah, she's hot.
And I remember the first time I interviewed her, way back in my MMS days, like way back. And I was saying on the air, like, oh, how ridiculously hot this girl is, blah, 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 blah. And then her dad happened to be there. And it turns out she was like 16 years old. And there's creepy Seth going, yeah, how hot is this girl? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, and no, she was like 16 years old. And then I felt like a dick because I didn't know how old she was. But she's a looker.
Yeah, she definitely is a good looking girl. I too have had the same problem with the dad for saying something off keel about Jackie. And he wanted to fight me. Him and his sons wanted to fight me.
But see, I was promoting her stuff, so I don't think he wanted to fight. I think he was happy that I was promoting everything. But
no, he wanted to fight. Like we went outside, me the sons. Well, I
probably did.
I kind of said, I'll tell you what I did. It was at a remember we used to have those promo shows all the time, like to promote, raise money for this or that or whatever.
Right.
You know, we used to always have that. And the show that we were doing, I got asked to MC, and it was one of them shows that there wasn't a ton of people at it, and they were giving away stuff that nobody wanted. So it's like, hey, come on up here and win a keychain or whatever, you know, who wants to win a Domain Cleveland mouse pad or, it was just stuff nobody wanted to win. But she was like kind of I was the MC and she was the girl that just kind of stood there and held the bucket with the raffle tickets in it.
Right.
So, and I mean, she's smoking hot. So I couldn't get anybody to come. Like at one point I threw a CD out. I was like, okay, here's a CD up for grabs. And I threw it out and all you heard was it crashing to the floor. Because like nobody even tried to catch it. It was just something nobody wanted. So at some point I was like, I ain't gonna lie, I was very drunk, but I started saying something about how hot she was, and when I said that, then I started getting some people cheering or whatever in the little crowd. So then I started talking more about how hot she was, right? And then people started getting more and more into it and coming closer to the stage, which is what we were trying to do. So at one point, I got right up next to her and I like kind of bent over and I went, like I was smelling her. And I said, she even smells hot. She smells like stripper hot, and that's all I said was she smells stripper hot. And that was it. And by that point, I had everybody yelling and screaming, and having fun, right? I come walking off the stage there. It was at the old Revolution. And I go in the back and the old man was there and he's like, I got to talk to you. I was like, okay. And he's like, what you said was just fucking wrong. And I was like, what? And he's like, he just wouldn't let it go. And I walked away at first. I just walked away and I used to hang with this guy, Pat. He was in a band called Girth. I don't know if you remember that band, Girth.
I remember the name.
But Pat was a big dude himself. He's 6'3", probably 250. Like he's a big dude. And he used to run with me at shows to be my quote unquote bodyguard. Because I used to say such heinous stuff about bands on MMS that, I had a lot of bands that wanted to punch me in the face. So Pat would go with me. And I was always, Pat used to even say himself, he's like, I don't know why you need a bodyguard. If anything, I need the bodyguard from, getting involved with this stuff. But Pat did keep people away from me.
Right.
So I went out to the front and Pat was sitting out there having a drink. And I just told Pat, I said, hey, we might have a problem here. And he's like, what's going on? And no sooner did I say that than the two brothers grabbed me by the shoulder, like, let's take this outside. We heard what you said about our sister and whatever. So finally I was like, I'm not fighting you guys. And they're like, oh, come on, you fucking pussy, like that. I was like, okay, fine. And I went outside and I was like, let's fucking do this. And I'm like screaming at this point, now I'm drunk, I'm angry. And then Pat come out and then all of a sudden it just turned out to be nothing, it just turned out to be a bunch of yelling at each other, but that was my Jackie LaPanza.
I wonder if we can get her on this show.
I'm sure we could. I could reach out to Jackie myself, I would think, because we're good now. We've been good for a lot of years. Like we made up for it she was in a band called Mojo before she became into like Mushroom Head and Unsaid Fate and all that stuff. And Mojo was like a hippie jam band.
I remember
I think one night we were out some campground somewhere doing a fundraiser for, there's another thing that Cleveland used to have. Remember when they used to have the guys that were making the low budget movies, but they would approach every band to give a song and then they would try to have a big concert with all those bands to raise more money. Well, this was at some campground and Mojo was playing at it, and we all went out to this campground and just kind of sat around a campfire after everybody played and smoked pot and shot the shit and drank. And it was a lot of fun. So, but we made nice on that night. So, and we've been good since.
Well,
so.
Yeah, I'd like to get on the show just to tell her the story about when she was 16, how I was almost hitting on her while she was sitting in the same room. And then her dad was sitting right there.
Yeah. I'll reach out to her and see.
She's got to have something to promote.
Well, she's always got Unsaid Fate. I think she's not in Mushroom Head anymore. She's married to, or she was married to Skinny from Mushroom Head.
Yeah.
And I don't think she's in Mushroom Head anymore, so I don't know if
that
that
I kind of liked.
What, Mushroom Head?
Yeah.
They hated me. Oh boy, did they hate me.
Assuming you didn't particularly care for their music?
No, see, it's not that at all. I liked Mushroom Head a lot. I still do. I mean, musically, I never had a problem with them. I wrote in Scene that the best metal band in Cleveland was Crypt Kicker. Crypt Kicker was like my favorite of the metal bands in Cleveland. And they got all fucking butthurt about it, about the fact that I didn't kiss their ass like everybody else did.
Yeah.
But I just wrote what I felt. So it turned into a thing, and I was at a Mushroom Head one night, and So one of the guys from the band came up and started some shit with me, and I didn't back away from it. And so by that time I was on MMS as well. And Matt and I, you want to talk about causing problems, Matt and I, because I had a problem with them, Matt, and that's the guy we need on the show, is Matt at some point. Tell some of these stories.
I have him on, but I don't know if he'll talk, right?
He'll talk. But what ended up happening was, because I had a problem with them, Matt and his loyalty as he is, both of us refused to play Mushroomhead on the show ever. We never played Mushroomhead on the metal show in Cleveland. So fast forward, they get signed. They get signed by Universal. They screwed over my friend Chris Poland from Eclipse Records. They walked away from a contract on that. They signed with Universal. I printed in my Music's Bottom Line magazine the contract that they violated. I got my hands on the actual contract and I printed it. It turned into an absolute mess. And then we wouldn't play, this part of the business. The record companies come to the radio stations offering this, and that for plays. Well, we were the only station in the country that wasn't playing the Mushroomhead added song. We were the only station that wasn't playing it, or the only specialty show that wasn't playing it in their hometown. And it was such a black eye on them. It was a huge black eye, and it got really nasty. It got to, at one point, their attorney, or Universal's attorney, threatened to sue me over printing the contract, and it was a whole thing, dude.
They never really went that nationwide.
Well, they came out exactly the same time as Slipknot.
Yeah.
And Slipknot was the better band. No offense to anybody. I'm not trying to shit on them or anything. I'm just saying Slipknot was the better band. And so there was that piece, and everybody looked at one side or the other as ripping the other off.
Yeah, I remember that.
So that was a problem right there. And the other thing is that they sounded a whole lot like Faith No More, and Faith No More was still huge at the time. So they weren't getting that love either. But they've had a good career. I certainly would never say that they haven't had a good career. They're just more of like I don't want to say underground, because they're bigger than that. They're bigger than an underground band, but they're not as big as
are they still doing stuff?
Oh yeah. They're still out there. They're actually touring next, or like in a couple days. They start a tour for we had their opening act on my Chris Aiken Presents show like last month. This Kurt Dimer guy.
Oh, really?
He just finished touring with Skid Row and Buck Cherry, and he's moving right over to the Mushroomhead tour.
Huh, I wouldn't mind I remember seeing that name. Yeah, all right. I wouldn't mind having them on the show if we can get them.
Who, Mushroomhead or Kurt Dimer?
Mushroomhead, or either one.
Well, Mushroomhead might be difficult with me involved. They might not be. I don't know. I mean, I don't hold any grudges anymore. Honestly, it is what it is at this point, and I could care less. I'm not helping or hurting their career, so I don't care either way. I don't even know who's still left in the band from that era other than Skinny. So, I could reach out and ask her. I'll ask Jackie. I'd love to have
Jackie on the show just because at least I've talked to her before.
Yeah, I
she's
know
always
Jackie.
cool.
Yeah, she's cool. She's real cool. I'll reach out to her and see if she wants to come on.
But ask her if she'll wear this for the interview. I'm kidding. I'm not that way.
She'll wear a big old hoodie, sweats.
It'll be a giant
hat,
huge Mushroomhead sweatshirt.
Yeah, just
5 sizes too big, and a ski mask, so I can't say anything.
None said fate burqa. Yeah, she's definitely a good-looking girl, though.
I'm more than happy to have some of these bands on because I miss some of these old school.
Well, I know we get Crypt Kicker on too. They're getting ready to do something too.
I remember them.
They were heavy. They were definitely that Pantera, Cleveland's Pantera band. One of them. I always loved that band though. They were fun.
We haven't played our dog pound details.
Well, let's do that before we get out of here.
We got to do that. All right, Browns have a game, Sunday? Who are they playing? I don't even know who they play this Sunday.
Ravens.
That's right. Ravens have like 14,000 starters out. I think their entire team is backups, and we're going to lose 50.
Stop it.
All right, we'll talk about that real quick after we get back from Dog Pound Details.
Cool.
What's up, guys? John Drake here with the Dog Pound Details after week 3 of the NFL season, and the Browns with a dominating victory over the Tennessee Titans, 27-3. The Cleveland Browns defense continues to shine. They allowed less than 100 yards. It was 94 yards to be exact that they allowed. If you go on NFL.com or any of the Stat Monkey websites and you look up team stats for defense, the Browns are pretty much at the top of the list of almost every single one of them. So they are just absolutely playing lights out. They shut Derrick Henry down like... You could say the guy's washed. I mean, he's averaging about 3 yards a carry this year, so maybe he's not the same player he has been. Maybe all those carries are starting to catch up to him. Could be a product of the crappy passing game. Ryan Tannehill's looked awful, but whatever it was, I don't care who it is. The guy ran for 20 yards. So when you hold any starting running back, to 20 yards for the day, that's pretty good, especially when that guy's Derrick Henry. So the defense absolutely lights out yet again. Definitely the heart and soul of this team right now as the offense tries to find its footing, which thankfully they finally did. This was the Deshaun Watson game that we have been waiting to see since we traded for him and gave away all those draft picks and all that money and whatnot. He looked great, and the offense was really humming. Almost 400 yards of offense, if not more. I don't have the exact stat in front of me, but 27 points. Again, a dominating victory. And the first quarter got a little wonky, obviously, but the team settled down, and from there on out, they just rolled them. And just a complete team victory in all facets. And the Browns are really starting to get a little bit of confidence going, and it really sucks about that Pittsburgh game because, I mean, I don't know how you guys feel, but to me, I think we should be 3-0. Those 2 offensive turnovers against Pittsburgh really bit us in the ass, as we know. And this legitimately should be an undefeated football team right now. But that having been said, I think they know that as well, and I think they got a lot of confidence going into this Sunday's game against the hated Baltimore Ravens right here at home back in Cleveland, Ohio. I am really excited for this game. We're catching the Ravens at a time when they haven't really gotten anything really going yet. They got a lot of injuries that they're dealing with, so this is a perfect opportunity to keep the train rolling and really, come out of here with another statement win against a quality opponent. Of course, it would be another division win, so you would then go to 2-1 in the division. And you're going into the bye week at 3-1, and you have an extra week to prepare for the San Francisco 49ers, which obviously I think we can all agree is going to be the most difficult game that we face all season long, unless something crazy happens down the road with somebody else that we're playing. But that having been said, I just think this is set up for the Browns to get another great victory. I obviously don't see them doing to Baltimore what they did to Tennessee, but it's going to be very interesting to see what this Browns defense is able to accomplish against Lamar Jackson. He's obviously incredibly mobile. Todd Monken has a little bit of familiarity with Cleveland. He was here a couple of years ago. It'll be interesting to see how he schemes this Ravens offense to go against this absolutely suffocating Browns defense. I think the Browns are up to the challenge. I really do. I think they're aware that they're really starting to be onto something special this season. I think it's early yet, obviously, but I think that they're starting to become a little bit of an attitude with this team. They're starting to, they're really starting to believe in what they're able to accomplish as a unit, on both sides of the ball. And I'm just excited to see what the Browns can do, because this would be such an incredible victory, to go 2-1 in the division. You're in sole possession of first place. To beat Lamar Jackson, it would just go so far in taking that next step. And let's face it, did any of us think that we were going to come out of these first 4 games at 3-1? I think if you would have said that at the beginning of the season, every Browns fan would have taken that. So that's the goal this week, and I really think that they can pull it off. Again, the Ravens are banged up, and the Browns are starting to feel themselves a little bit. So I'm hoping for another victory. I'm hoping we, beat down those, hated Baltimore Ratbirds. And, hey, as always, guys, go Browns. Hoo, hoo!
There you go. Right back on the Luis Gonzalez and Pepe show.
That's right.
Dog pound details. And the only person feeling himself on the Browns is Deshaun Watson.
Chihuahua pound details.
Yes, the Chihuahua pound detail. The Browns will lose by 30 this weekend. And
Shut
you are
up.
absolutely correct.
Shut up.
This guy does resemble Bloom Daddy. I'm telling you, he's Bloom Daddy's long lost cousin.
Browns are winning this game this
They're
week.
going to lose by 30. Are you kidding me? Lamar Jackson's going to rush himself for 300 yards.
They're winning this game.
Okay.
They're winning.
You know why they're
the
going
game.
to lose? Because we're confident the Browns are going to win. And when we're confident as Cleveland that the Browns or any team is going to do well, after last year's Guardians, whatever season, I thought, all right, this team's going to win the division hands down. And what happened? We suck. And our manager's now retiring. The Browns are going to lose by 30.
No chance. By 30, no chance.
Look, you already owe me a fast food meal.
I know that.
Oh, by the way, I'm getting value meal numbers 1 through 10 as my meal because I'm hungry. I'd say double or nothing, but I don't think you can afford that.
I can afford it.
Browns lose by 30.
No chance. I'll take the double or nothing on this one.
All right.
Browns are winning. Browns are winning this
All right,
game.
I'm not saying by 30, but straight up.
Straight up game.
Double or
Straight up
nothing.
game. Double or
Browns
nothing.
are going to lose. There's no
Yep,
doubt.
straight up game. Browns
What
got to
gives
win.
you confidence that the Browns? Look, Deshaun Watson threw the ball backwards the other day.
Okay, he had one bad pass the whole game. He was like 28 for 33 for 289 yards. The reality is it should have been about 350 yards and an extra touchdown because the refs totally screwed us on that one play. You can't. There's no way you can say that Amari Cooper was out of bounds.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
So
We also play the Titans.
So the Titans were not a terrible team last year.
They're not great.
They're not great. Neither's Baltimore with everybody hurt.
All right, it is in Cleveland.
It's in Cleveland. Their starting running back is hurt. Their OBJ is hurt.
Our all-star Pro Bowler running back is hurt.
It's hunt time, baby.
What'd you say?
It's hunt time.
Hunt time. Gotcha.
It's hunt time.
Hunt.
Not
I
with a
heard
C.
that. Well, yeah, hunt time.
Yeah. It's Kareem Hunt time. Oh, Jim thinks everything sucks if it's not 1972 nonsense. Shut up, Jim. Douchebag.
Why are you making fun of the guy there?
Because he's a douchebag, Jim. I know him.
A douchebag?
Yes, he is.
Douchebag? A douchebag? No.
Yes, he is.
He's right.
He's
Deshaun
wrong.
Watson is horrible.
He had 330 yards and 3 touchdowns last week. How's that horrible?
He's not very good. Come on.
He was good last week. How can you
He's been
say?
good for 1 week.
Okay,
In the 10
but
games he's played, he's had one good game.
well, by that standard, then Patrick Mahomes is horrible, or Joe Burrow, because neither one of them has had a 450-yard game yet. Are they horrible too?
Pat Mahomes is now horrible because he's on my fantasy team. So
Pat Mahomes is now horrible because Mahomes is now horrible because he's no longer the center of attention in Kansas City.
Did you hear what he said the other day? He said that he felt pressure to throw Kelsey a touchdown pass so that way Kelsey could do it in front of Taylor Swift.
Well, he's being a good wingman there.
Yeah, it is. I mean, that's pretty slick. I mean, that's a good move. And then Kelsey did his whole shoot the arrow thing, and he did it towards the suite where Taylor was sitting.
I already hate Taylor Swift just for the NFL purpose. I don't hate her as an artist. I hate her for the NFL. I'm ready for her not to be on the NFL programming
The
anymore.
NFL loves her.
Oh, of course they do.
The Kansas City Chiefs ratings for the first time ever went up like 400%.
Of course.
And the female demographic from 18 to like 49. Dude, up 400%.
Dude, that's what I was saying. I was saying that last week about, every highlight of every game, they kept going back to, and Taylor Swift was at the Kansas City game. They know that they know that she's good for attention and eyes on the product. I get it.
I think that they said that Kansas City game. Who the hell cares about the Kansas City game anywhere other?
It was
than
Kansas City and the Bears or something. Nobody cared.
And nobody cared except for the fact that it was the highest watched thing on TV for the week.
Yeah,
because Taylor Swift happened to be at the game.
I think they acted a little too quickly announcing Usher for the halftime show at the Super Bowl.
Should have been Taylor. Should have
been Taylor Swift.
All the Swifties will be there. Are you?
How many eyes would they get on the game if Taylor Swift did the halftime and the Chiefs were in the game?
Oh my God.
Oh. You might have every single human being in the United States from age 10 to 80 watching that.
If she did it naked, I'd watch. If
I
she
don't
did
think
mud
she's
wrestling, apparently Chris wants mud wrestling. So yes,
I don't know that.
I'd go see some mud wrestling right now. I'm down.
I didn't even know that was still a thing.
What's Rick Fisher House?
I don't know. I thought that mud wrestling would be banned now because it's sexist.
It's canceled?
Yeah, I would think so. You don't think so?
It very well could be.
There might be two guys in there identifying as women, too, for all we know these days.
Well, I'm going to go get some free iPhones tonight. That's all I know.
I got one.
If people can do this, why can't I?
Got one! Got one! Got one! Got one! Got one! Uh-huh! 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 Free iPhones! Free iPhones! Free iPhones!
To America 2023.
God, it would just be great to see her get her skull caved in. Ugh.
All right. We're going to wrap it up. Monday, we do have Dave Mortosh coming on.
Yes, look at that.
He's going to talk about a lot of cool stuff going on. Who else do we have coming on Monday?
We have the band, for another 90s band, Simon Says, coming on.
That's going to be fun as well.
Yeah.
Very excited. Very excited to get next week started. So have a great rest of the week, a great weekend. And remember, don't forget, we are now the Luis Gonzalez and Pepe Show. Have yourself a good one. Thanks for joining us. And let's just wrap things up with the new theme song for the show.
All right. Sayonara, people.
We'll talk to you later. God willing, we'll talk to you Monday. See ya.
Hermano, cayó la ley, está rodeada tu casa.